It is an absolutely crazy time to be an anime, manga, and light novel fan. I have to tell you, there is some crazy news coming out right now. We have a continuation of Berserk. Yes, despite nobody believing me, it will continue. We have some news around Noragami. Solo Leveling apparently is getting an anime. Yes, it seems like things are a lot more concrete around the rumors regarding that series getting an adaptation. Additionally, the Dr. Stone artist moving to a new project, and so much more. So if you're interested in any of this stuff, which I would be surprised if you're not, stay tuned. Let's kick things off with the craziest news probably, and that is that Berserk Manga will be continuing. Yes, unfortunately, after the passing of Miura-san, we were very curious as to what was going to happen with the series. Were they just going to stop it at that point? I was pretty convinced at the time that they weren't going to let it stop at that point, that somebody behind the scenes had some sort of insight into what Miura wanted for the series. And sure enough, that seems to be the case. The news that we have is out of the editing department of Hakusensha's Young Animal magazine, as well as the manga creator Koji Mori. They stated that the manga will continue with its new chapter in Young Animal on June 24th. The manga will have 6 chapters that go into the end of the Fantasia arc and Elf Island chapter, with a new arc beginning afterwards. Moving forward, the manga will be credited to the original work by Kentaro Miura, as well as manga by Studio Gaga and supervised by Koji Mori. Studio Gaga is, of course, the studio that Miura worked at. This is where they had all of his assistants and apprentices that he worked with. And Mori is a close childhood friend of Miura's who he consulted a lot with plot details of Berserk. Mori has released a statement saying that he knows the story of Berserk up to the very end of it. Also, Mori noted that he's discussed the Berserk manga with Miura since the manga's iconic Eclipse chapter 30 years ago. And this is where it gets interesting. After Miura's passing, Mori had kind of contemplating going out and doing interviews regarding the story, giving details on exactly what the ending that Miura had planned. But unfortunately, he felt like those methods were inefficient. Like, presenting it this way wasn't proper. And so instead, he kind of took up Studio Gaga's offer to continue on the manga, and he promises that they will recall the details as good as possible to tell the story, assuring readers that it will be imperfect, but he thinks he can tell almost the entirety of the story that Miura wanted to tell, which is really fantastic. And again, this is kind of what I was assuming was going to happen. Again, there is the business side of things where I kind of felt like the studio was going to be like, you know what, let's just do it anyways. We'll just claim that we know what's going on, and we'll just finish the manga, make a lot of money, and put an ending to the story. Then there's kind of the middle area where I kind of feel like they wanted to continue it just in respect of Miura. Like, we wanted to put an end to something that he wanted so badly to finish. But then there was this other side of me that kind of hoped that somebody knew what Miura wanted to do. Somebody had insight into what he was going to direction. An assistant or somebody that worked alongside him that he would have divulged this information with. Something to plan ahead. And I think that's what we're getting, and I think that's really fantastic. I think for anybody that loves Berserk and thinks that it cannot continue without Miura, that's fine. Just don't buy the new ones. But I think it's fantastic to at least have that option to see an ending to it. And I do really hope the best for Mori, because I think this is something that's, no matter what he does, I'm glad that he put in here that's not going to be perfect. Like, he's not going to give you the story that's going to be perfect, and you're probably going to criticize it. But at least he wants to see this to the end. And I like how he puts that he could have took these other directions of, you know, just going online and interviewing with somebody and saying, yeah, he planned on doing this, 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 and this, and it was done. And that would be terrible. This at least gives you an option of at least seeing the story as it lays out. And I really do wish the best of him. Finally, Mori and Young Animal editing department has stated that they promise not to deviate from Miura's own words. Like, they don't want to do anything outside of what was kind of planned, what he was told that he wanted to do with the story. Hopefully this means don't do fluff, don't do filler, just stick with what he wants and put an end to it. But we'll see where it goes from here. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think of this. I haven't jumped into it yet. I have like pretty much all of them, but they're still wrapped, and I'm just waiting for that day that I can just dive into this whole series. But I definitely do want to hear from all the big fans out there. Is this something that you're excited about? I know this is something that's probably going to be very conflicting for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that want it, but are afraid of it at the same time. Don't ruin it, but I kind of want it kind of thing. So I'll be interested to see how it goes from here. I'll be really interested to see once the first chapter comes out, what kind of response people are going to have about this, and especially what is Japan's response going to be for it, because this is a very touchy subject to get into. Obviously, a lot of people have love for Miura's work, and for somebody to continue it almost feels like an insult for some people, but we'll see. Moving on, let's get into probably the most leaked story that has ever been. Yes, Solo Leveling. Once again, we have leaks that it's happening. I think of all of the stories that have not got an adaptation yet, I think Solo Leveling is the one that seems like every month, or at least every other month, somebody's saying, there's an anime coming, it's coming, just wait for it. But like I said at the very beginning, we actually have some solid information to support this for once. As many times we've talked about Solo Leveling getting an anime adaptation, this feels very solid. And this solidification comes through a domain registration for SoloLeveling-anime.net. It wasn't registered by just anybody, but actually GMO Internet, which is a company that really focuses on internet infrastructure and marketing. So this is a company that's known for registering stuff for the sake of marketing. So it gives a little bit more credit that this company is picking up this very specific title of SoloLeveling-anime.net that kind of makes you know, yeah, something's gonna happen here. Now, the more leak side of things that are not really too confirmed is that a lot of people are claiming that A1 Pictures is gonna be working with it, Aniplex and Crunchyroll are pretty much doing a co-production of it, which is technically the same company, but still, it's very exciting news. I know that a lot of fans out there absolutely love Solo Leveling. I have kind of jumped into manga here and there. Nothing's really grabbed me so far, but based on the hype around it, everybody's like super, this is the, if you hate Kirito, read this kind of thing. If you think Kirito is a little wine bag, read this one. This guy has so much more going for him, so to speak, but I'm definitely hyped for it. I've been looking forward to this finally getting anime adaptation. It does seem like having A1 Pictures supposedly involved with it could produce something really fantastic. A1 Pictures has done a lot of fantastic stuff. Yes, they've been known to doing a lot of outsourcing, but the hope is that this will be the one that they put a lot of budget into to get that God of High School treatment with some insane animation. Definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully it turns out good and it meets the expectation of all of the people that love that series. But again, just know that this is not a confirmation. This is not an announcement. This is a leak based on this domain being grabbed. And yes, what people are saying, who's working behind it. A lot of people are saying that it's probably going to get announced next month. So we'll have to wait and see. Moving on to some exciting but unfortunate news at the same time. Yes, it looks like Noragami is unfortunately coming to a conclusion. In the July issue of Kodansha's monthly shonen magazine, it has been revealed that Noragami is currently in its final arc. And honestly, peeking into this one, I can honestly say that's probably exactly true. It does seem like things are getting a little crazy in the story, but I have absolutely loved Noragami. I'm a couple volumes behind at this point, so I don't really know exactly what direction that's going, but it does seem like it's getting a little crazy. Now, with that said, it does feel like a lot of the story arcs for Noragami span many volumes, so this is something that probably isn't going to end anytime soon, but it's good to know that they at least have an idea of exactly where they want to conclude it at. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll love to see where this concludes. Hopefully we can get a third season, please. There's so much good stuff they can get into with a third season, but we'll have to wait and see. Moving on, for the fans of Mob Psycho 100, Season 3 has been confirmed to be licensed by Crunchyroll for worldwide streaming besides Asia, with both English subtitles and dubs. So if you're a fan of Mob Psycho, does anybody surprised that Crunchyroll picked that up? I think it was assumed, but it's good to have an actual confirmation. And yes, this of course will be releasing in October, so look forward to that. If you can get through summer's craziness, if you can survive summer's craziness, look forward to that. Moving on to some industry news, Variety has reported that Viz Media has hired Crunchyroll executive Sai-Wan Song to be in the newly created position of Vice President of Content and Animation. According to Variety, Song will lead Viz's content acquisition strategy and be responsible for execution of the company's co-production strategy. So definitely interesting news there. I'm not sure exactly if that will be significant, but him working alongside Crunchyroll for a long time, I'm sure that will be a significant assistance for Viz Media in the future. Moving on, Netflix has revealed a full trailer for Kakaguri Twin. In the trailer, they revealed staff, cast, opening, and a August 4th debut for the series. So if you're a fan of Kakaguri, definitely look forward to that series hitting in August. For fans of Dr. Stone, some really crazy news has come out. Lion Digital Frontier has announced that Boichi, who of course is the artist that drew the Dr. Stone manga, not the writer, but the artist, will be launching a new webtoon series alongside In-Wan Yon, I hope I'm saying that right, in Line Manga app mid-2023. Again, like I said, Boichi is known for his art provided for Dr. Stone manga, a series alongside the writer Riichiro Inagaki. The new work is titled Superstring and is tied to a Korean company Y-Lab's Superstring IP. The project includes films, live action, and games, and the new webtoon will center around one young man's story of protecting his family and fighting alone. In the story, heroes from various dimensions come to Earth and fight a war. Sounds pretty interesting. I know that a lot of people love his artwork, so that's definitely interesting to see where that goes, and and what kind of stuff they can do with that particular style. It's a very unique style, let's be honest. And finally, our last bit of news, the official website for Alpharetta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest Anime, has revealed more information on the OVA for the property. It will have a September 25th release, and they have also released a visual for it. And the title for the OVA is The Illusionary Adventure and the Miraculous Encounter. In this story, after capturing the sunken ruins Melusine, Hajime is worried that resuming his journey will separate him from Miu. After looking into the 7 great legends of Erison, the group is flung into a world with a ruined city, and Miu is nowhere to be seen. While searching for her, Hajime has a miraculous encounter. And that's it. That's all the news we have. If that wasn't enough for you guys, a lot of crazy stuff coming from anime. It's a great time to be an anime, manga, and light novel fan. That's just for sure. Additionally, we do have some news coming tonight surrounding Vinland Saga's 2nd season, so I'll definitely be looking out for that and let you guys know what comes from it. But I'd love to hear from you guys what in this news bit is most exciting for you, and is it not solo leveling? Additionally, if you've not already, and I've hopefully gained your support, please hit that subscribe button so you can get all of my content. I do news, top lists, first impressions. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support us more, we have a Patreon link, a tips link, and a super thanks button to support us directly. We definitely appreciate everybody that does, and y'all take care.